Yeah, you know what it is. It's your boy Kaden for you, and you're now rocking with Hip-Hop Bahamas.
All right, here we go. We back at it again. Today we got Tizzy Worldwide here with us. How you doing?
Right here, bro. Blessed.
It's good to have you in here with us today to talk a little bit about what you do exactly, because as a lot of people may know, you're not like a rapper or whatever, but like you do have some type of part inside our hip hop culture. Could you explain to the people a little bit like how you fit into hip hop?
Well, I fit into hip hop because I guess I'm a promoter, so I promote for businesses and events, but mostly I specialize in promoting events. I also do event coordination, event planning, event hosting, and that's basically my job.
Could you give us a little bit of your catalog? Let's say some people that might not know the face behind the party that they won, but everyone always remembers a good party. So could you just throw out a couple of parties that you may have hosted, people may not know that it was you?
Okay. Well, I run a promotional company under the brand Vision. Really 2020 Vision, but really it's Vision Promotions. You can follow us on Instagram at Vision Promotions 242. The S in the Vision is a number 2, and the O in the Vision is the number 0. But Vision Promotions, we've had numerous amount of events. We've had Focus 2, Focus 3. That Focus is really our flagship event, but we've had other events: Glacier 2, Civil War, stuff like that.
So how old are you, Tizzy?
I'm 17.
So you're 17, and so far you've already thrown a couple of parties or whatever. So you're still in school.
Yes, but I'm about to graduate.
Okay, talk to us a little bit about how it must be to be in school but still throw parties where people outside of school still attend.
Well, I started throwing public events in the 10th grade. It wasn't supposed to start out like that. It's supposed to be like a grade party type of thing. And because people know that I used to go out a lot, I used to go to a lot of parties, but I never really threw one. Of course, they had me in mind to be the person to plan it. So it started off with a small group of us, and then we realized that we would be spending, a certain amount of money. So we was like, you know what, let's just open it up to anybody who wants to come, let them charge a fee. And that was... Our first party went really well. Seeing that we were still in school, that was March of 2018. So we were just going on Easter break, so it was the middle of the school year. And the first party went really well. Throwing the rest of my parties throughout school, my high school life. It wasn't always easy, but it definitely gave me a platform because these are people who I saw every day, so they would like to support me.
Right.
And most of our supporters came from my school and other schools around Nassau.
Okay. You said something that caught me. You said about how you started off going to parties first or whatever. Like, talk about how important it is to not only love what you're doing but enjoy while it's happening. So your job literally requires you to like party basically, or like at least have the mind of it. So talk about how it was so easy for you to get into it because we remember before this you was you was carrying on in the party. So talk about how it's so easy for you to transition over into throwing them because you're such an avid party going.
Okay, so I started going out to like public parties at the age of 12, and it was funny because every time I went out, I would see people who were in the 12th grade at that time, because I was probably in like the 7th grade or so. I saw people in the 12th grade at that time, and they were going out, and they were like, "What you doing here? You like 12? Like, who let you out the house? Like, why are you out here?"
Yeah.
And at the time, I'll never forget. Shout out to Dante and Ava. Like, I went to one of the first public parties I went to was their party called Ready or Not at J-Line Fitness, and a 12th grader at the time saw me, and they were like, how you even get in, like how, and honestly I don't know how I got in, because I'm sure they had like an age bracket, but I don't know, I just started from there, and from then on I just went to all there. Like, I always just wanted to go to Dante and Ivar because they're like the flagship people they were known for hosting parties in that. So from Dante and Ivar, I started to just venture out to other people's parties. So it went from Dante and Ivar to Scumlords, and it was really between those two because nobody else was really throwing parties so frequently as they are now today. So I usually was just bouncing back between Dante Ivar and Scumlords. And there were there's different aspects of how I got into what I got into. So I'm sure that my partying aspect will always remain the same, but the promotion aspect came from just watching Dante and Ivar, like the way how they would walk around the party. You know, they still having fun, but they making sure everything's straight. They making sure their gate is secured, their bar is secured, everything's flowing, and they're still having fun while doing it and making money at the same time. So I just was like, you know what, I want to do this. And a lot of people knew me because I went out a lot. So I was like, well, if a lot of people know me, if I throw a party, a lot of people should come. So that's how I really got into it. And there it even branched off into event hosting, because I'd watch people like Jasper, like Overdose, watch how he hosts events. And that's also something I like doing. That's something I realized that I could make money doing too. So imagine being a triple threat. You're a promoter, you are an event host and event planner. So it's something that I really enjoyed doing.
Right. And you said how the first party you did, surprisingly it was real successful. What kind of advice can you give to someone that's thrown a party ready, but their first party was not a success, whatever? What do you tell them?
Although my first party was a success in my head, that might have been a flop, what we would call a flop in promotion, where you just break even, or you wouldn't even break even. That would be a flop to some people, and that was a success to me. So my advice would be, the fact that you're even throwing a party, some people really wish that they could even get that done.
Right.
So don't look at the numbers. Don't look at how much money you're making, how much people support you, how much times your flyers being posted or shared. That's just your starting point. Because I never dreamed that my first party would have grown into a flagship party like Focus, and made it so big today from that first party. So my main advice would just keep throwing parties, keep doing what you have to do. You can't give up, but just know where to draw the line, and know how much money you're spending, how much time you're investing, how much money you're investing, and see if it really works for you. Because I'll be honest, I give it frank, throwing parties isn't for everybody. It's a lot of hard work.
Right.
It's a lot of time.
Right.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of stress. I don't think people really understand the level of stress that it takes to throw a party, at least one of good quality. So that would be my thing. Just watch your pocket and just make sure you're doing it responsibly.
Right. So I was about to ask, would you say that promotions is something that you would say, if you want to get into, it's something that it's, go ahead, go for it. Would you say that promotion is something that you want to tell people, you want more people to get into? Do you think a lot more people can get into it and make a living out of it the way you sort of have?
I'd say that promotion has spiked in the last couple of years. And I think that's because of people like Dante Ivar, Scumlords, who really set the pace.
Most definitely.
And I think as more people saw more people doing it and realized that Bahamians just like to party, it became this ain't that hot.
Right.
This ain't that hot. You know what I mean? And a lot of people have been successful with their events, particularly young adults and teenagers, But let me just say this. I would encourage anybody to go ahead and start promotion. If that's something that you're interested in, that's something that you want to start to do, then of course venture and create and find your own way of doing it and make the best out of it and see if it works for you.
Right.
I'm not gonna ever try and stop someone's hustle, or because I'm sure that if you're a DJ, you want people to be DJs. You want more DJs. It's always a competition.
Yeah.
I mean, for some people, it's a competition. For other people, it's a learning experience. Right. It's a way that they can teach people and mentor people.
Right.
So for me, in terms of promotion, I don't know if I'm on that level yet to say I would like to mentor someone, but of course I'll give someone pointers from what I've learned. You know what I mean? So if someone wants to go and do promotion, go right ahead.
Okay, cool. So we see that you have a seniors shirt on. What's that all about?
Well, during this pandemic, I decided that I wasn't just gonna sit down and just float like everybody. So I just wanted to do something, a project that I was working on, because I'm a senior in the class of 2020, and most seniors are not being able to graduate the traditional way.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to do this shirt, because a lot of people also were supposed to get grad, on their last day they get like a grad shirt,
Right.
and those things have now been held back or cancelled. So I just wanted to be able to give people a platform where they can rep. So this is seniors, and it says the one where they were quarantined. This is the Friends, the Friends logo.
Yeah. Right.
And just their style of writing. So for every episode, they would say the one where they ba 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 ba. So this is the one where they were quarantined, and it says the class of 2020, and then the name on the back if you want it.
Right.
So for anybody who might want to order a shirt, you can hit me up at Tizzy Worldwide on social media platforms.
How has this quarantine stopped things for you so far with the whole not only promotion but the graduation thing? Because I think that grade 12 and graduation is one of like the most like sentimental things you go throughout life, graduating high school and all that. So how has this like kind of stopped you guys from doing what you wanted to do?
Well, for most people, graduating is the highlight, the peak, the climax of high school. It stopped a lot of things that we were excited to do. One of those things being prom, the traditional way of doing grad pictures, the traditional graduation. We've now had to move into a virtual graduation, which is happening very soon. But I think for me, it's a very sad thing. Like I'm trying to make the best of it, but it's very hard just knowing that last year you watched people graduate, the year before that you go through your whole high school life watching people graduate the traditional way. So like, why our year?
Right.
But I don't think God makes mistakes, so it's all for the best.
Right.
In terms of promotion, it's really taking a toll on me, and it's in terms of just my social life, like my nightlife. Like I'm someone who's always out, like I always on the go, always finding somewhere to go. And now that I know that over this quarantine there has been nowhere to go, it's really like opened my eyes to see like, wow, it's very hard not being able to do what I love to do. And that's just from having fun aspect. Financially it's a different ball game. Like I never thought that throwing parties would have been something that would have stopped, even with a pandemic. Like I thought it would have some way you could work around something. But like, nope, it's just dry. But I mean, I'm just grateful that God kept us here. For everybody who survived the pandemic, and I'm just hoping that we'll be able to come out of it, and hopefully parties will be back to where they were very soon.
Okay. Let's take a switch real quick, and let's go like a little back. How was growing up for you coming up? How was it?
Growing up, I started, growing up, I'll start with school. I started at Queen's College for preschool.
Shout out to the Comets.
Shout out to the Comets, my soon-to-be alma mater. So, my mom was a teacher at the time, and she got a job offer at Lyford. So, I stayed to Lyford from grade 1 to 4. And then we left. And we went to QC I started at QC in the 5th grade, and I stayed there ever since. But my childhood was good. Like I grew up with, for the majority of my childhood, 2 parents in the home. My dad does construction. Grew up with aunts, uncles, vacations to Atlanta, from Abaco, Green Turtle Key. So I mean, I got a good childhood up until literally my teenage years. At 13, my mom was shot and killed in front of me, so that gave my life a full whoop-de-whoop 360. And ever since then, I mean, life has just been showing me that not everything is a fairy tale. Like you literally grow up, and I had to grow up at the age of 13. Basically in the fact that just life can change at any moment, at any time. And I think that's too what kind of sparked my my love for partying and just going out and just living life and just having fun.
Right.
Because like I learned that life can end so quickly,
Right.
and life isn't fair.
Mhm.
So I always try to encourage my friends, my family, like,
Mhm.
you live today, you live now.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
try to live your life the
Mhm.
best way you can, because you don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring.
Right.
So yeah.
Do you think there's people that would say that may not know you as well, because people that know you just know that he's just the type of person that likes whatever. Do you think there's people that say, oh, maybe he does it because of the whole situation with his money, he's trying to get away from that or whatever?
Mhm.
How do you respond to that kind of thing?
Honestly, that is like literally the number one thing. But people say like,
Mhm.
oh, he using partying as a mechanism to cope.
Mm.
And I'll be honest.
Mhm.
For the first few years, that's really what it was.
Mm.
But then I found my passion in it. I
Right.
found my love for it. I found something that made me money.
Mhm.
So it grew from that to something that I really enjoy doing, something that's my livelihood, something that I look on for the rest of my life and say, you know what, at the age of 15, 16, 17, I was throwing some really great parties,
Yeah.
and I was giving people in my age group at the time some really great memories that they could look back on and reflect on.
Mhm.
So yes, certain things happen in life where you don't know how to deal with it, and at the time I was young, so I didn't really know how to deal with it. But as I grew up, I realized that the only way for me to really deal with it is to find something I love to do and
Mhm.
focus on that.
Right. What would you think if you were to ask anyone, talk to anyone starting out throwing parties? What would you think the top 3 things that the keys to throwing a successful event? Because you're gonna have a lot of people that's watching want to know, especially when this pandemic's over. What are you say are some of the keys that are essential to throwing a good event? Because there's I per se threw a party once that did not go as planned, and you may know, but I won't go too much. But it was called 100 Summers,
100 Summers.
and it went into the preparation was good. It just that the outcome didn't come out as well. Whatever. So what do you think some keys would be to throwing a successful event?
Okay. Keys would be definitely investing.
Hmm.
Investing not only money, but time.
Right.
Thinking and planning out what it is that you're trying to accomplish is probably the main thing, the number one thing. Investing just your time, investing your thought process, investing just everything what you want to accomplish, and just going full speed, full head into that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like some people rush their planning and they don't invest enough into it. So when I say invest, I mean you're gonna find a guy who does a flyer for $50.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna find a guy who does a flyer for $20,
Right.
and you're also gonna see a guy who does a flyer for $80 and $100.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to make an $80 and $100 worth flyer into your $10,000 party, then you can't expect that from a $20 flyer.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
You gotta be able to put the time.
exactly,
in.
invest into that $80 flyer.
Right.
Because that's what's probably gonna be the most eye-catching.
Mhm.
It's gonna give you the most quality.
Mhm.
It might keep some money in your. It might break you
Mm-hmm.
for that. Like, oh my gosh, $80 on a flyer.
Right.
But that's the outcome that you're trying to get to. That's the quality of work
Mhm.
that you're trying to bring.
Mhm.
So definitely investing. You
Right.
can't be shabby with your work. You have to go full on, the best of the best with everything.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly would be patience, because you're gonna feel as though that things aren't moving as quickly. You're gonna feel as though people, like if it's a ticketed event, you're gonna feel as though people aren't buying, so you're might want to pull out.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna feel as though I booked certain people for certain things,
Mhm.
and they're not reaching their timelines and their deadlines. But I have set, like, everybody's working around the clock for their own show. Like
Right.
it doesn't revolve around you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that probably was something I had to learn,
Mm-hmm.
because I just felt as though everything was supposed to fall in my lap, and people just have to adhere to what I want because it's my party, and
Right. Right.
But patience is another thing.
Mhm.
Like patience and understanding go hand in hand, because not everything's gonna go as to plan.
Right.
So, that's probably those are two things, but they go hand in hand. So that'll be
Right.
the second thing: patience and understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And the third thing, I would say, is promote.
Mm-hmm.
Promotion. Like, I don't know how else I could put it, how more I could express
Yeah.
it, but like, promotion literally is key.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot, like, if and I've done it before, but I think it's just through the grace of God. Like, if you're having a party on July 1st, you can't drop your flyer. To me, you can't drop your flyer June 1st. That's 1 month of promotion. Only so much you could do with 1 month of promotion. If you're trying to have a really big event or a really successful event, at least 2 to 3 months of promotion is required. And then how you promote also, just go different ways of promotion. Like, I know everything's online and digital, Snapchat, Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook, but literally the networking of promotion is also key. Like, literally, it's going out to other events and saying, hey, I'm having an event next month, next 2 months from now. I want you to come out. It's literally going to public events, like, say, BISS, for example, and handing out flyers.
Yeah.
It's literally, like, everything that you can do to draw people to your event, that's what you have to do. And I tell people, not promotion isn't only with events. Promotion is with everything.
Right.
Any successful business, it's promotion and marketing.
Right.
So people who want to do music,
right,
you have to promote that. You can't just say dropping a song on the 18th, share. No.
Right.
Why do I want to listen to your song? You know what I mean? It's all about selling the brand, selling what it is that you do. So to cap it all off, investing, patience and understanding, and promotion.
Okay, cool. With that last piece about music, are you would you say that you listen to a good much of Bahamian artists, Bahamian rappers?
I think I listen to a good much. Some of them are very, very underground, low, like they're not mainstream. Like, I mean, I listen to Twin Dem. I listen to Casper.
Okay.
I listen to NF Trey, who's a good friend of mine. Leon. I listen to Block Boy, Tizzy. I listen to Block Boy Styles. Kanan Foya. Just to name a few.
Right. With that, and then how you talked about promotion, all of that. How do you feel about there's so many businesses that are just starting up now? Like, everywhere you look, it seems though someone owns their own business or some type of Instagram page or whatever. How do you feel about the youth in today really wanting to go the different route and really own something and do something for themselves? How do you feel about that?
I spoke about this on my Instagram a few months ago. I think I deleted it now, but I was speaking about the state of entrepreneurship in the youth of the Bahamas, and I realized it picked up when I went to I was in school.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You have people who are selling lip gloss. You have people who are selling food. You have people who are starting all these new businesses. Yeah, and it's really a thing of beauty. Like I'm all for young people, especially doing their own thing, because one thing I hated when I was younger, or even as a youth right now. You'll understand when you're older. Why don't you wait until you're older to do it? And that goes hand in hand with what I was saying earlier about me taking life by the throat and going ham at it now. Because why should I wait to start my business at 25 when I can start my business at 17, and by 25 my business is successful? Not starting my business at 25 and then by 30 my business is successful. You know what I mean? So I feel like anybody who's starting businesses now, like, go ham at it. Like, know with the pandemic, like, because people haven't been working, you're seeing all sorts of different businesses I didn't even know you could have started. You know what I mean? But to say the least,
there's a service for everything.
Yeah, there's a service for everything. Everything is delivery. Everything is like at your fingertips. So my young Bahamians, like, go for it. Like, that's my main thing. Like, go for it.
Are there any young businesses out there that you see now that you would like to give a little applaud to, or whatever, that you think is coming up on the radar?
Okay, I don't really. Forgive me, everybody. I don't remember everybody's exact name of their business, but I will shout out a few people. Rashonda Duncombe, she has 2 businesses. I know one's named Jasmine's Beauty Parlor, and that's really focusing on makeup and beauty accessories and stuff like that. And she's also doing a food delivery business where she makes the food, like, I talking like Haitian spaghetti, chicken fettuccine with the egg in it and all that. So she, shout out to her. I also have a friend of mine, her name is Mika. She does like these rum pouches and stuff. Bahama Caprice is a well-known business, but shout out to them too, because they've been really busy. I can't really think of anything else, but those, just to name a few. great business. Oh, Litables, Rashawn, shout out to her.
Okay.
She's doing like these rum slushies and stuff.
Right.
With
Fire.
the candy and stuff on the top.
Fire. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then what I really wanted to get into a little bit is about, can we talk about how not only like quickly your like transition was, because like you really started off doing parties, but like now it's like we see you doing literally the most. Like Tizzy, you doing the most right now. Like if you went in a picture with some type of celebrity or whatever, like how did you do it?
It's really, honestly, it's been I started doing this in 2017, really. 2018 was like the spark. But I just want to be a part of everything. It's really being a part of everything, being everywhere, just sticking my nose wherever I can in terms of promotion, in terms of events, in terms of like just being out there, like anything, like, okay, for example, anything that Jasper Overdose, DJ Overdose is too.
Yeah.
That's something that's an event that I want to make sure I go to.
Right.
Because he's someone who I look up to in that field.
Right.
So I want to make sure I'm there, so I watch. So Jasper plays at events brought on by Alpha Sounds, which they really bring out the soca artists, and they have ties with Carnival and all of that. And I'm a soca junkie, if you know me.
Yeah.
So that's hand in hand. Promotion wise, I'm watching Alpha Sounds. Event hosting wise, I'm watching Overdose, and it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
So certain stuff like that has really brought me out of my shell. So I've been able to make connections with a bunch of soca artists, a bunch of Trini dancehall artists, and that's really when I venture out and I go out to those type of events. Most recently, I've befriended DJ Ignite, and he DJs in Bond. He's Bond's host DJ.
Yeah.
And he calls me up and he's like, you know, Tizzy, I'm playing for, I think, just to draw an example, he was playing for Meg The Stallion concert. He calls me up. He say, hey, you want to do Meg? Like, and I was just like, sure. So I ended up doing the Meg The Stallion concert. I hit him up because Guidance family were bringing in Rod Wave. And I hit him up and say, hey, you DJing at Rod Wave still? Yeah, I'm still DJing. You wanna mic for me? Sure. So I ended up doing Rod Wave. Like I'm not afraid to ask, because closed mouths don't get fed. Right. So I'm always someone who's gonna ask. I'm gonna try and get my name out there, because that's what I want to do. That's me. So I'm basically, that's just my platform. That's the way how I do things. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna let you share the blessing. Right. So that's how I've been able to do anything to do with Carnival and soca. I will go to Jasper because that's my go-to person. Right. Anything to do with hip hop and those kind of stuff, like those type of other concerts and stuff, I go to Ignite. Like literally the last outing I had was Shensia's concert, and I literally asked Ignite I think that was like the day before, and I say, hey, you doing the Shensia concert? He's like, yeah, sure. I say, man, you think I could hop on the mic? Sure, man, come. And that's the type of people I want to be around too. Yeah. So that stuff in itself brought me up to where I am, just going out, being everywhere, keeping my networking tight, stuff like that. Okay,
and then while we wrap up, I want to know, what is the goal for Tizzy Worldwide? What's the peak for you? You know, where do you want to take it? Where do you want to take all of this?
Worldwide, baby. That's why I gave myself the name Tizzy Worldwide. I want to be everywhere, doing everything I can, and that's just it. Like, for me, I want to be an entrepreneur, not just a promoter. I am a promoter. I am an event host. I am an event planner. But I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to have different streams of stuff. I want to have my hands in everything I can. So that's my main goal as a person. Just being worldwide with everything, different companies, different organizations, promotion, not only here in the Bahamas, but I want my promotion to be able to take me everywhere. Right. So for an example, I was given a job offer to be Melik, the guy who sings Colors. I was given a job offer to be his booking agent for the Bahamas. So for that to me is my first step into going where I need to go in terms of my promotion and being an entrepreneur and just really being Tizzy Worldwide.
Okay. let us know what's next, because we know that sooner or later they should be letting us out of the house for this quarantine. Can we expect anything right away? Could we expect anything coming up as soon as it's ending? What's next?
Honestly, me and the team, Vision Promotions, we have been discussing a few things that we would want to do. Keeping everybody safe, also staying in guidelines with the health regulations. We don't have anything in solid ground yet because we're still waiting it out. We're still just letting everything ride out because they haven't given any permits for any events yet or anything like that. But most definitely, as soon as this is over, we really want to do something. If we can start off big, we will. But if we have to start off at a certain limit in our numbers and stuff like that, then we can also do that too. But as soon as possible, where it's safe and it's responsible, we'll be on it. Okay,
cool. Well, we appreciate you coming through today, dog. Is there anything you want to leave with the viewers? Anything you want to drop in before we wrap this up?
Last thing I just want to say, just you guys continue to be you. There's gonna be people who don't like you. There's gonna be people who love you. And one thing I've learned is that you can't get attached to either. You can't get attached to the love, and you can't get attached to the hate. You gotta be focused on what you're doing. Because sometimes love can deter you, and sometimes hate can deter you. So you have to be focused exactly on what you want to do. And once you focus on what you want to do, and you got God with you, and you got God first, nothing can stop you. And
we appreciate you coming through. And we definitely want to get another sit down later on and get back in contact with you later on for sure.
For sure. No problem. Great. This is Tizzy Worldwide, and you're rocking with Hip-Hop Bahamas.
Yeah, you know what it is. It's your boy King, and you're now rocking with Hip-Hop